We live in an age of overstimulation. The 21st century learner is met with a lot of distractions. Marketing research shows that we have 15 seconds of engagement as a simple content metric. Let's use our time wisely. Appleton J. et al., 2006, conducted a study measuring the cognitive and psychological engagement of students. An economically diverse sample of urban grade 9 students was conducted to dissect the factors that had an influence on engagement. This research makes an important distinction between motivation and engagement. While motivation is related to underlying psychological processes, it does not necessarily have to be present in order for learning to occur. Motivation is necessary, but not sufficient. Supporting research for this study has found that engagement is comprised of 3 subcategories. A look at behavioral in terms of conduct, effort, and participation. Cognitive aspects, such as regulation of oneself, goals and investment in the content and quality of learning, as well as the emotional aspect of engagement. Each subtype has various indicators and outcomes. The importance of gap analysis is to demonstrate when we are reaching learners and if those outcomes meet our learning objectives as instructors. Results of this study have given educators many different tools to work with when creating video presentations. Ultimately, it was noted that the delivery method was quite important in reference to student engagement. Live versus pre-recorded curriculum was deemed far superior in engaging with people. The duration of the videos was of great importance, noting that shorter videos held engagement longer. The influence of format and quality had very interesting results. In terms of the resolution or the quality of instructional design, it was less influential than one might think. Other factors, like informal style of teaching, was much preferred. In fact, students reported that the talking head videos held their attention longer. Of interest highlighted in this research is a preference for the Khan-style tutorials. Khan-style formatting is highly esteemed. It is an interactive blackboard where students can follow along with the facilitator or professor and engage in participatory learning. In contrast to this research, there is a study by Thomas, Punith Sarma, Gwayula, and Javagopi, 2022, that analyzed the online learning environment and presentation style in reference to student engagement. The model was based on styles including solely visual, solely verbal, or a balance of both. The emotional connection to materials and emotional response was also measured. The results of this study demonstrates that no statistical significance exists in terms of presentation style and learner engagement. Regardless of the style, it was found that the overall engagement ratio was 70%. This brings us back to Appleton's 2014 research that better analyzes the subfactors of learner engagement. In this case, it can be surmised that external factors have a strong influence on focus and attention and need to be factored into data that is based solely on instructional design. In a review of literature by Bradbury, 2016, important correlations across different research were brought together. As noted in the introduction, timelines for delivering our message is important to the adult learner. Marketing industries identify a range of between 8 and 15 seconds to be the peak of engagement. Other industry professionals engaged in training tend to exhibit a decline in focus after about 15 minutes. The complexities of this type of research is highlighted by Bradbury. In acknowledgement of the flaws in design studies, biases, and subjectivity of the findings. This study has drawn important conclusions that identify the consistency of the effect the instructor has on learner focus. More so than format or integrated teaching tools, the industry now emphasizes the importance of personal teaching enhancement among education professionals. We can draw more information on the nuances of learner engagement from research that was done by Wolf, Shea, and Lethwaite in 2010. This study analyzed practical training environments and the acquisition of knowledge in terms of practical and fine motor skills. Factors that drew in learner focus, attention, and engagement involved the relevancy of the material or curriculum. When attention was focused on specific outcomes of an action, engagement was emphasized. Further to this, focus was noted when students were provided with time and space to execute a self-regulated practice. In support of other research, this study deems fatigue as a performance-degrading factor. This leads to an enhanced awareness to educators on the timeliness of delivering our learning outcomes and bringing learner focus back with applied and practical exercises. It is believed that visuals such as graphs, diagrams, animations can help to keep learners engaged and interested. In addition, the aspects of interactive learning and participation to help draw interest, focus attention, and give a platform for learners to gain knowledge and practice skills. When learning is engaging, it allows for optimal performance and success. But it is the attention to all the contributing factors of the audience we are reaching to, that human element. We can search for the ways to advance design and dynamic delivery, but the inferences of this research lead back to the educator themselves. By leveraging and understanding the variance of human learning, at the core of what we do, we are then able to moderate and adjust accordingly. Every interaction can be tailored and personalized to deliver greater understanding to students' strengths and weaknesses. Ultimately, we must continue our research to better be able to tailor education to the needs of the 21st century learner. But I leave you with one thought. In the complexity of life, including experience, health, and education, how do we begin to analyze a cognitive phenomenon like human cognition when there is so much variance among us?